The woke drive-by journos don't know what to do with J.K. Rowling and Black Snape. Today we'll tell you why they hate the situation she's put them in. And it turns out Warner Bros. May have just thrown them into a loop that's duped the drive-by dinosaurs hardcore. J.K. Rowling has officially confused the woke media. The drive-bys have no idea how to cover this thing anymore. What are we talking about? Well, it's out of page 6 by Adam Silverstein. It says Harry Potter set beefed up with serious security after Papa Asidu, that's the guy playing Snape, has been hit with threats of deletion over his Snape role. HBO locked down its Harry Potter reboot with tight security after one of its stars was hit with chilling deletion threats, real-life deletion threats. Ghanaian English actor Papa Asidu, who portrays Professor Severus Snape on the show, has been flooded with disturbing messages ever since joining the cast of the TV series last year. Network boss Casey Bloy said the studio saw the backlash coming and put protections in place early. I don't know who's protesting this. I don't know who's taking it so seriously that you want to put out those threats. I'm not denying that they're happening. But
if they saw the backlash coming, doesn't that infer that they're sort of that they knew that this was going to be the reaction, and thus they put their talent in harm's way?
It's an odd thing, and it's an odd thing. But usually, what would happen in this case is the media would come out and just attack anybody who was not in the wacky left and say, "This is all on you. You're putting this man's life in danger. You guys suck. You're terrible. Toxic fandom, et cetera, et cetera." You know the playbook. We've seen it 1,000 times. This time, they don't know what to do. Entertainment Weekly covered it this way. Derek Lawrence, J.K. Rowling reacts to Harry Potter TV series trailer after actor calls out online the A word, abuse. The author is weighing in on the first look at HBO's adaptation of novels. Okay, what did J.K. Rowling say that has them so confused? Well, it says J.K. Rowling is weighing in on the first look at HBO's Harry Potter series. The trailer for season 1 arrived on Wednesday to great fanfare, and, well, it's getting really close to being ratioed. It says, but here's what J.K. Rowling put out. Quote, "It's going to be incredible. I'm so happy with it." Not every response to the trailer has been as positive as Rowling's, however, and her post presented a new venue for racist objections to Papa Asidu playing Hogwarts potions master Severus Snape in the series. Here's what here's what's got them confused right now. Paul, they want so desperately to call out the ratio as being filled with racists. They want to call out all the people flooding the dislikes as being the kind of people who are married to their cousins. They can't stand this guy being cast in the role. But the problem is they hate J.K. Rowling, and they kind of like the fact that she's getting dislikes on the Harry Potter series. So they're kerfuzzled here, Paul. They don't know what to do with this. And what do you think about it, Paul? Which way does this go down? Do they eventually do they say that all these people are just awful, terrible rubes, or do they?
I mean, we know what online is like, and there's going to be people who are probably genuinely racist, and then there's people who are just trying to be bots, and then there are people who are concerned about the fact that they're probably never going to be a Snape that is going to be as good as the fellow who died, Alan Rickman. I mean, that's a really hard version of Snape to get over. So you're going to have this wide range of people. My guess is there's probably more truth to this than the Star Wars
Reva.
The Reva one, no one showed any kind of receipts for that, and not necessarily I need to see receipts for this, but the Reva one just seemed completely fabricated. This one, you know what? I could probably guess that there's been some untoward comments towards.
Chado, can I admit to you and you alone, just you and me,
okay,
that I hate Black Snape? You don't
sure. Yeah, but you're not going to threaten them.
No, but I hate it because I wanted I wanted Shaq. I wanted Shaq as Hagrid. And Black Snape stopped it from happening. That was the way to go. Shaq as Hagrid would have been just a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, except his knees are bad. But other than that.
How are you going to carry Harry?
Well, that's kind of stunt casting. He can't act worth shit. So
Shaq, Shadow,
come on.
Shaq Fu, man. Go back and watch it. It's something amazing.
So this particular Snape is a very good actor. I don't know. I mean, in the end, it's going, we have to wait until the show comes out and see what the reaction is to it, and everything else is just speculation.
So, Lauren, we had a contentious discussion the other day on the Pro Show about this situation with Snape, and I want to give you an opportunity to flesh this out a little bit more, because I'm tending to agree with you on what you were saying, that this is sort of a setup to draw out division, and that it inserts into the Harry Potter story an element that wasn't there before, that gets into places that are not comfortable, I would say. It makes some of the characters villainous in a way that they aren't unless you do this race swap. So walk us through that, please.
Well, this is my main complaint about this change. When initially the casting was announced of Papa Acedo, I was not familiar with his work, and so I didn't know what to expect. I have seen a little bit of his work since then, and he appears to me to actually be a pretty decent actor, and so I hope that he can do something with the role and give us an amazing performance. But that's not the problem. The problem is that Snape's history with Harry's father, James, and his friends is a very serious bullying relationship. Severus has a very legitimate reason to not like James Potter, and some of those feelings carry over to Harry. And in the context of the way that it's presented in the text, when you change his race, those scenes take on an entirely different context. And the same is true of his romantic intentions towards Lily. And that shades the entire thing in an entirely different way. And I think that is, it does violence to the characters. Now, in the discussion that we had the other night, the point that Alan was making is that he doesn't really care about the race of the character. He hopes that Papa gives a fantastic performance. So do I, by the way. But he also said that he wants it to be faithful to the text.
Hey, Lauren.
Well, what the text says is that Severus has long, greasy hair and is of sallow complexion. And so you've sort of set up what the character is, and now you have deliberately made a change that changes the interpretation of the text in a way that I think makes it a darker. And you already kind of get from the trailer they're going for a darker tone, so maybe that's in line with the type of story they're trying to tell. I think that the Warner Brothers versions of the story looked more like a Roald Dahl story. Maybe they're going for something different here. I don't know. But I think unless they have thought up some clever ways to accommodate this so that you don't make this out to have a racial component, it's going to change the text, in my opinion.
Lauren, permission though. Let's set a rule for the channel from here on out, okay? I know you want to be cool and call him by his first name. Papa.
Okay.
Lauren, from here on out.
Mr. Acedo, then.
It was a little awkward when you said, Papa's going to be great. He's a good guy. You got to love Papa. Andy, one of the things that they're stuck with here, and both sides maybe, is that J.K. Rowling is not a conservative. The left hates J.K. Rowling because she disagrees with them with one single thing. Now, I know there's a way for them to get around this to some degree. They can make one of the characters that James is friends with back when the bullying happens. They can race swap that character as well. I know they can do that. But it's funny to me to watch both sides not really understand J.K. Rowling. I think that's at the heart of this conflict is J.K. Rowling only agrees with the mainstream middle on this one thing about women. And that's really it.
Yeah. They try to make this argument about, well, it should just go to the best actor. Then why didn't Al Pacino play Harry Potter? Clearly a better actor than Daniel Radcliffe, so he should have gotten the part. The point is that somebody made this decision, but they didn't think things through. You're talking about a world where there's already bigotry and hatred with the whole Muggles and things like that. It's not really a thing where it's a foreign concept. It's not like you're having this on a Star Trek world of Andor where everybody just happens to be the same color blue or whatever. It's a matter of like it does exist in our world where we have these issues and they want to make something of it. I think if you're looking to make money and you're looking to sell merchandise, it's a really, really dumb idea. I don't know who made the decision, but
It's not their intent.
Well, yeah, well, they clearly are hurting themselves because, like, now I think the other problem they have with this is that the casting of the films was so wonderful. Everybody in those films did an excellent job on there. Now, the other problem you're going to have with this is what they did in the original versions of this in the books. Yes, James Potter had some flaws and he worked through them and became a better man. You know, that hero arc thing that they don't like you to think about because they don't like heroic characters. You saw growth in a character. You see Severus Snape he's still basically a villain through the whole thing. Everything he does in the book, he does for selfish reasons. It's revenge, and it's, he wanted this girl, and this guy killed her, and he's not doing things for the right reasons because it's the right thing to do. He just hates Voldemort that much, and he wants to kill him. This is clearly just another example of somebody, hey, look, we have to make this, and they justify it with, we got a really good actor to play it. It's irrelevant. It's you can get the best actor in the world. If you take Laurence Olivier and you put him in a Superman costume, it's not going to work. Right. You need it with the physique and stuff like that.
He did Othello.
He did. He's the last person to do that role as well, and of the pasty variety.
So, if I may, to talk about the threat, I may to talk about the threats. I believe they're real. Firstly, because I've gotten them for saying Nintendo is charging too much money. So we know that it doesn't take much to get deletion threats from the internet. It's the internet. You file a police report, you move on. However, we know, I believe, because I believe these to be true, I also believe that Warner Brothers or whoever the decision makers were knew that this was going to happen. We could tell here that they were clearly hedging a bet for it. But further than that, and moreover, the more important thing here is this is a gambit. This is a Hollywood final gambit because Harry Potter is the last fandom standing. It is the last one. Disney's dead. Disney Animation's gone. Pixar, Marvel, DC. Most of the Lord of the Rings is in an iffy spot right now. Rings of Power not helping. Star Trek's gone. This is it. And everybody, this is what I think we need to be talking more about. Disney, everybody, all of the executives are waiting with bated breath, excited with the popcorn. They're like the Michael Jackson meme with the popcorn, excited to see, oh man, the normies are going to slurp this up. And when the normies slurp this up, because they don't give a crap about the fans, they don't care. No. They need proof of concept that they can start remaking everything else. So yes, this is a test. This is, we got all these death threats, and still we got all these death threats, and it was a mess, and the fans were angry, and yet we have record viewership. Get ready for Cynthia Erivo playing Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, the remake. That's what's coming next.
That got exciting and also disappointing in so many ways. Thank you, Wizard, for destroying our hopes and dreams.
You said I may.
Yeah, Cynthia Erivo.
And you did.
Clickbait. Fraud. Drama queen. Ugh. I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh, my.
Wow.